Hi, good evening. We are living in the 21st century. What are the things that we see the most in this century, apart from the rising climate change, the unending poverty, the rising third world consumerism, the capitalism, the privatization? What is that one other thing that we see dominantly in this century? It's the rise of social media. Absolutely. The rise of social media has taken over our lives so dominantly that our days do not end without the apps like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp, and all these apps are the ones competing for that one thing that they require from us, the consumers. That's our time and our attention. Here in this video, I am going to review a book that I have read called No Filter. No Filter is this book that has been written by Sarah Frier. Sarah Frier is the technology reporter at Bloomberg who has gone behind the scenes of the story of Instagram. The story of Instagram is ultimately about the intersection of capitalism and ego. Interesting to find that the initial idea of a photo sharing app or even Instagram was not even there. So this dude, System, he tries to build an app for status update called Bourbon and tries to pitch his app to venture capitalists. And is being told that you need to get a co-founder and then only you'd be funded. And that's how Mike Krieger, another co-founder, comes into the picture. And there were three problems that these guys were trying to solve. And these problems were that image took forever to load on 3G network and the phones were not as good as digital cameras, and that's why people were so embarrassed to share their low quality snaps. And another last problem was it was annoying to post in many different places, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at one time. So that's how they came up with this idea of solving the problem of photos and at the same time trying to showcase the app as this whole new place for people to be who they are. Instagram was mobile first since the beginning of its inception. And the idea was simple. You simply take a picture of your life, post it on the platform for your friends to see. It was on October 6, 2010, that Instagram was launched to the public on the Apple Store. And it's so interesting to find that on the very first day, it had 25,000 users. And then later, within the week, it could reach and obtain 100,000 users. And within like 6 months, they could reach 2 million users. And the mere spare design of the platform being so simple actually landed Instagram to be so popular. The problems of the platform was mainly because of infrastructure abilities and facilities, because there's this instance where Justin Bieber, the teen heartthrob, tries to post a picture of himself, and the platform is bombarded with users. Instagram's potential to grow so fast, and the way Instagram had reached so many users twice as fast as the other tech giants in the Silicon Valley was what drew its attention towards Twitter and Facebook. And Twitter also tried to acquire Instagram, and this is a little controversy here, where Kevin Systrom denies the fact that Twitter officially tried to acquire Instagram. And within a weekend after Mark Zuckerberg's call, Instagram gets acquired for $1 billion. You can imagine now, even at that point of time, Instagram being acquired for $1 billion was considered a huge and expensive price to pay. Even in one of the personal record of one of the employees, it's mentioned in the book that Zuckerberg goes on to tell that if we don't create the thing that kills Facebook, someone else will. And the internet is a very ugly place. And if you do not stay relevant, you do not even have the luxury of dying with ruins. You just disappear. And the very reason that Systrom sold Instagram to Facebook was because Mark Zuckerberg assured the company's independence, and regulators gave a go to Instagram being acquired by Facebook. Cultural clashes started uprooting between Facebook and Instagram. After Instagram shifted to the Facebook compound, the growth team wouldn't help Instagram because until Instagram proved statistically that it was not siphoning users or users time from the mothership, that is the Facebook, and they had to find a way to survive. So a big win for Instagram came then was with its video compatibility, that it launched on the platform, and it also came from the backlashes of Facebook's CEO Mark Zuckerberg not being able to acquire Snapchat. That was another application that was uprooting in the Stanford campus, as a youth icon, as a youth platform where you could post and send videos and it would disappear. And Zuckerberg desperately wanted Instagram to launch a reshare button on the app, which was something that was being resisted by Chris Strom and Mike Krieger since the beginning of the Instagram inception. They wanted users to have a hold of their own content, and did not want their content to be shared by other people and have that kind of virality. And that, till now, when all of this whole situation is going on, Instagram has not been able to have any kind of revenue. They have not been able to raise any revenue until now. And that's where Zuckerberg's demands from Instagram, after its video compatibility has been launched, and after subscribers list and hashtags and all of these explore page options has been launched, for Instagram to start with using advertisement, because they demand a 1 billion in revenue after the launch. Here, it's very interesting to find that Sarah Frier goes on to describe and paint Zuckerberg as this executive who is always in threat, and who's always anxious about the growth of Instagram, because he is somewhere down the line, he knows that Instagram is going to take over Facebook's Facebook's users, and Instagram is going to replace Facebook. It was within all of this crisis and the clashes going on between the mother company and Instagram, is when the celebrities and the users on the platform started to realize the potential of Instagram and the way it could they could use the platform to leverage and earn money from the platform. By celebrities and digital influencers were already connecting with the followers, and they were trying to be as vulnerable as possible. And that's why the platform became a perfect branding tool for influencers, for brands to promote their product without actually showing the price tag. But Instagram was directly competing with Snapchat now, because with Snapchat you could send photos and videos and it could disappear quickly. And that's why Reels was one of the solutions for competing against Snapchat. Although Kevin Systrom was earlier against it, but he had to literally make the boat rocking. So that's why he went on with the idea of Reels. And Instagram goes on to be described as a place for people to unite. And similarly, at the same time, Sarah Frier goes on to describe Zuckerberg's Facebook as the platform for polarizing of society. And it was also under the controversy of US presidential elections of 2017, and the way Instagram played a huge part in polarizing the voters. Again, Zuckerberg thought that Instagram was posing a threat to the growth of Facebook, but at the same time, System thought that the whole social media market was growing. So Instagram was growing along with it. And that's when Instagram in 2018 reaches 1 billion, 2 billion users. Facebook's founder is unable to resist and unable to find this as a threat. And that's how the co-founders of Instagram, after the huge clash between Facebook and Instagram, goes on to leave, and thereon assign Adam Mosseri as the head of Instagram, because apparently under Facebook there could be only one CEO. And that's how the book ends. So, the book is a very interesting way to describe and the behind the scenes and what all went behind Instagram's what it is right now. It is also talking about so many instances and controversies where you'd be thrilled to know, and you'd be really poked to have the ethical dilemmas of how technological giants are working it is so data driven, and it is privacy is a myth right now in the data technological world. And this book goes on to describe exactly that. So the narrative shown in the book has been mostly from the Instagram side and the employer side, from how with the 13 employers, Instagram was acquired by Facebook, and it goes on to become this whole giant of an application now in our daily lives. And also it shows a huge part of Facebook's understanding and Facebook's way of working through this book. And I found this book to be an interesting one, and it goes on to show a perspective which I would not have been able to actually understand without this book. Thank you.